Terrifier 3. Bloody Jacob here to give my thoughts, and I've been anticipating it for as long as the rest of you. I really like the first Terrifier. I love the second Terrifier, and it's definitely been one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I've really gotten to adore a lot of the people that work on it: Damien Leone, Lauren Rivera, Elliot Fulham, David Howard Thornton, and just to see the success of this movie and an independent slasher horror movie being at the top of the North American box office, it warms my heart. It really, really does. And my expectations for it were, solid after how much I absolutely loved 2. And the holiday theme, diversifying it in that way, I knew it was going to be a lot of fun and, touch or test certain boundaries. And it's fine if you have certain boundaries with things. That's okay. Just don't talk down to people who have ones that are a little bit different, a little bit further. It's entertainment, and it helps with the people that work on it being so nice to their fans and great with them. You can tell these movies have always been a passion project for Damien Leone, everything he's done with the character. So please support independent horror like this and celebrate that it's getting as wildly successful as it is, even touching the mainstream. And I gotta say, for me, Terrifier 3 very much lived up to the hype. With so much they set up into and the lore they're really starting to build and delve into, Terrifier 3 gave us some of those answers and just enough to keep going to Terrifier 4, especially with the way it leaves off. I just thought this was a really, really strong continuation. It's about 2 hours and 5 minutes, which is about 25 minutes shorter than 2, I believe. And it was paced, I think, about perfectly. I don't know if Leone's going to make 4 and 5 or whatever other films he does shorter or not, but I feel like he found a sweet spot in this one, going a bit over 2 hours, but still managing to feel like the pacing was a bit more on than 2. And I'm not someone who really hated the length of 2 either. I watched it multiple times, and it's never been that big of an issue for me. Of course, everyone talks about the kills and just how fucking incredible these practical effects still are, and they're just extremely top-notch. Better than makeup you'll see in, big Hollywood films. And there's plenty of gnarly kills in this, I think. The body count's it's definitely technically a bit higher with some of what happens in this one. And there's plenty of memorable moments. The thing with the fake Santa, Daniel Roebuck, is maybe the funniest scene in the franchise for me. But aside from that, and aside from all the fun with art played by David Howard Thornton, getting to become this modern-day horror icon, I think genuinely he's made it. He's done it. Just all his antics, dialogue-free, and he's able to communicate and engage so much of the audience and the characters. It's a incredible achievement. But aside from all that, Lauren Rivera, holy hell, where did she come from? She is fantastic in this movie. I think she's an iconic final girl in her own right at this point. I honestly prefer her to certain others that I'd probably get lynched for. I've never been as big on as some, but I think she's incredible, and how she's written. There's a genuine character arc in these 2 films. And her dealing with the PTSD from the events of 2, I think it was really well portrayed in this movie. I was about as into that aspect as anything with heart, and I think that's a great thing that you'd never expect to find in a movie like this. Just really, really stellar character work. I'm serious. Samantha Scafferty as Victoria. She has more of a prominent role here and is a good kind of sub or co-villain in the film. She does a really insane job. I really like what they did with her. Elliot Fulham isn't in as much of it, but he and Sienna's brother-sister relationship is more important than ever. You also have the young actress who played Gabby, Antonella Rose, I believe her name is. She did a nice job. And there's this actress who played a social media influencer, a true crime podcaster, who I've seen people say was a little bit over the top, a little bit too unreal. I don't think so. It is meant to be a dark comedy, so there is some of that in there that you can attribute to it. But at the same time, there are people that are like that take these things and get these weird obsessions with people who have gone through shit. And it's a bizarre portion of it. It's not every portion of people who do it, but there are people like it, and I don't think the character like overstayed or welcome or anything like that. So that wasn't really an issue for me. I thought the conclusion was intense and just brutal as hell. It gave you a big question. It set up what's going to be like maybe an even bigger crescendo nicely, while still giving you that second collision between Art and Sienna. Yeah, there's definitely not everyone makes it out, and I don't want to spoil anymore, but it leaves it on a pretty ominous, dark note. I'm going to tell you that much. I really adored Terrifier 3, though. It's definitely one of my top movies of the year. It's hard for me to say if I put it over 2. I am trying to sit on it more instead of just jumping on my, just vibe of, just coming off of 3, but I do think it may overall be the strongest, from the kills to the, the distinguishable holiday theme to, such, good character focus with Sienna, even more than 2 to a certain extent. I don't know, there's really not anything I can complain about here. I'm giving it like an AA+, honestly. I'm serious. But yeah, please support a movie that's doing so well like this. This is a very good thing. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, TikTok, of course, Instagram, and peace.